Hey everyone!
Hey friends.
And it is officially episode 7 of the External Validation Podcast.
Look at us.
We are just doing things
So proud of us.
so great. So I think we do have to first probably start off and get right into the fact that, we took a little bit of a hiatus, didn't we?
Just a smidger.
A little bit of a smidger. Things were busy, I guess we can say.
You had a marathon.
I had a marathon.
I had fiscal year end.
FY.
FY.
It's not CY.
It wasn't CY. It was FY. And let me tell you.
It was everything and more.
It effed my Y, if you will.
It just wasn't what you would expect.
It was a lot.
Fiscal years.
Yeah.
The turn of the fiscal means basically the turn of your personality into the hardest worker that's ever roamed the face of the earth.
Oh, I was available 24/7, honey. Sleep. What was that?
Absolutely. You have to be. And that's the only way to work during a fiscal year.
Yeah. There's no escaping it. There's no escaping the FY. It's like one of those monsters that you can't escape, and it's FY. It's
100%.
The FI monster, if you will. But Chris, we have to touch base on your marathon.
Oh my God,
Let's
I know.
Discuss, honey.
I know. I know every episode we always start with the cheers and challenge, and I think I'm going to just do a double cheers, actually, to said marathon.
A double cheers.
So also, I think in full transparency, we have to say, not only did we take a hiatus, this is actually the second time that we are retaping this episode because
talk about it.
Apparently we didn't save the work somehow in our platform. And this is the first time this has ever happened. So I'm not really entirely sure what happened here, but I would like to do a double cheers to keep going to this marathon. I ran the Marine Corps Marathon about a week ago at this point, or almost 2 weeks ago at this point. And it was really great. I wanted to do a little bit better than I did, but I wound up running 3 hours and 27 minutes,
Amazing.
Which is 13 minutes faster than my previous time.
Insane.
It was just a really awesome day. And of course, it inspired me to run a little bit more. So I think my dual cheers this week and no challenges was just really kind of doing well in the Marine Corps Marathon, continuously focusing on the running and continuously focusing on all the other kind of habits in my life that are, going to build me up someday, somehow.
So proud of you. It was so cool to watch you virtually cross the finish line.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
And understanding that you didn't hit what you wanted, but you hit better than you did.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really cool to experience. So
Thank
congratulations to you.
Oh my God, no, I thank you for the support because it is true that yes, I might have, did the training or, did the run myself, but it is truly, marathons are a team sport because
Yep.
I will tell you that while I was running it, I had a few people that went to support me, and in seeing them in the crowd, it was really motivating because you almost felt like, oh my gosh, like they drove all the way up to see me and I can't let them down. So you see them at different spots of the course, and on top of that, there's so many people that are there spectating and watching, and you have all the signs, and they're all over all 26 miles, quite honestly. And so it was just overwhelming, and it really does motivate you to go forward. So I will say I did learn that marathoning is a not an individual sport, but a team sport in that way.
I remember.
And you were part of that team, is my point.
Thank you. But I just remember experiencing a half marathon for the first time and seeing the community and who comes out. It's really such a cool thing to experience, and it makes you it makes you hyper joyous, I guess you can say. It's there, everyone's just so proud and cheering for strangers, and it's just a really, really cool thing to experience. So thank you for allowing me to experience it with you. Not for this marathon, but maybe for the next couple ones you got planned. We'll figure something out.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I mean, not to continue on, because I do want to hear about your cheers and challenges of said weeks. But my next one that you have been invited to, but just I guess to air it out publicly, if you will, is I'm running the Lifetime Miami Marathon in January of 2026.
Phenomenal. Followed
by Berlin in September of 2026 as well.
That one, I have to figure out how I can make it.
That will be
pre-Oktoberfest marathon.
Oh my gosh, kidding? Absurd. Will be so much fun.
Oh my gosh! All right, we have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you?
Nothing. You just know, right?
Here's the thing.
YW, YK.
It's if you know, you know.
Yeah. I would say to keep the positivity net, finish fiscal year.
FY.
Didn't get fired.
This is huge.
Net, it's a win. It's a win.
This is huge.
And then I guess my other cheers would be We have entered my favorite season of the year.
Oh.
The holiday season.
Oh, I was going to say awards.
January.
January.
We'll discuss that in January.
But that's a huge.
You know, we're gonna have
to
have a Golden Globes party.
Yes. Oh, yep. Double G party.
Double G party. No, but I mean, I've just kind of been rooting, tooting around, just kind of very status quo. Been having some great therapy sessions.
Oh,
you know.
Yes, absolutely.
The daylight savings has definitely killed me, so that's been a little bit rough.
It has been a rough adjustment, has it not?
I remember this week being in the office and like looking out at 4:30 and it being pitch black was upsetting.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
And honestly, to the point, I understand the seasonal saddies, the seasonal affect depression. It's a thing, man.
Completely agree with you. I literally, every time I now drive to work and it's absolutely pitch black in the morning, do you not want to just like go back home and cry?
My will to live is abysmal at this point.
Oh my God, it's so bad. And then like now too, especially like you get up early, you leave early, you do the whole bit in kind of in the dark, and you leave work now and you're like, and it's
so dark.
Like, and it's cold. Like for anyone that lives in the North Jersey area, it is such a great season when you have like a fresh autumn.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. And like you get like that really beautiful like October Sunday that you feel really happy about, or you get like that one or two like November nights where you're like, it's so pretty out, and then it's just like cold, frigid. It's a lot to
process. It's the Antarctic. It's brick. Yeah. There's no life. There's nothing to live for. Your will to live is gone until at least like April.
Yeah. The harder part I would say is like, at least in terms of like months, I always felt was like February. It's like February 1st. And I'm just like, what do I do in the month of February? Because I understand there's like Valentine's Day and there's like other holidays and stuff, but I do feel like it is just a hard month because the weather is just always absolutely brutal for me.
It's just rough too because my birthday's in March, right? But it's like I feel like every year around my birthday there's a blizzard, there's a storm, there's something, and it's always gets. March is like the time I tell my husband it's like we have to go to an island. If not, I'm just gonna
be upset,
do some things.
Do this. Oh my God, I completely get it. No, but you know what though, like, but that's where it's good. I feel like though too, it's kind of a little bit of a good segue into kind of what today's about, which is that even when times are kind of a bit, call it tougher, or when you're in a place where, you know, it's like the days seem to get shorter and maybe you're wanting to kind of hermit a bit more.
Yep.
This is like the times when I always feel like it's time to go to work. And I would not mean necessarily go to work as in like do your 9 to 5, but do the 9 to 5 on yourself,
exactly.
Which is work on yourself, do other things. And what basically today's whole podcast is about is really just talking about discipline and the things that it takes to be disciplined, as well as all the kind of like myths and other things that we've learned along the way related to kind of developing discipline and things that we probably have to learn still as a result of being a little bit undisciplined, quite honestly.
Exactly. And I feel that especially in the winter months, you might not always want to feel like doing it, but you have to do it anyway. Everyone says like, for example, like summer bodies are made in the winter months. It's like you can't allow the darkness, you can't allow the weather, you can't allow honestly like your mental to take over what your goals are.
Absolutely.
For the following year, for the next, even like for the next day, you know?
Absolutely. Well, and it's so true. I mean, it's kind of the point. I think one of the things you're touching upon is that everything that is worthwhile does take time. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, as a good parallel to kind of go back to the Marine Corps marathon, I remember starting and I did my first half marathon in November of 2024. And then I trained throughout the winter months, not only for a few other half marathons, but for a full marathon in March of 2025.
Yep.
And so to your point, you're right. Like everything that's worthwhile takes time. Bigger accomplishments take time. And now, ironically, too, when they always say, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint, when they say that at work, you know, or they say that in life, it now makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Because if I went out every day and ran my heart out and didn't have the easy run and not, you know, run at my race pace, or if I didn't, you know, pace myself every day, or pace my diet, pace my weight changes, pace my weight lifting, whatever it is, I would never actually have achieved the goal. And so what I've learned so far, at least through the marathon bit so far, is that life is all about keeping things in balance. Everything is not about achieving everything immediately up front. Like, there are days that you have to have resistance on yourself. Even if you can achieve it today, it doesn't mean that maybe you should. And what I mean by that is that, there are days that maybe I could have ran faster, or maybe I could have, prioritized eating a little bit better or got more sleep. But the truth is, like, life gets in the way. You need some bend and flexibility. So part of discipline is also, I think, recognizing the larger goal, but giving yourself a little bit of like grace and maneuverability to kind of adjust around life and kind of the things that happen in life.
Yeah, I think too, social media really affected the understanding of it's not instant gratification, right?
Oh gosh,
I feel like everyone's like, okay, it's a sprint, not a marathon. I feel like everyone just expects like, okay, well, this is instantaneously coming my way. And it's actually like the quiet moments that really drive your success or anyone's success. Like, think about it. When people look on someone on TikTok that's doing very well, they're like, wow, it must have been like, you're really lucky. It must be nice. And it's like, but you didn't see the lead up.
Oh gosh.
You didn't see the posting consistently every day, dealing with the 200 view jail, doing all of these things to get to where you are. And I feel like a lot of people always forget that it's so much.
It's non-linear,
so much work. It's the silent moments when you don't want to do it. It's not just like, I'm feeling good, I'm going to do it. You have to do it when you're feeling bad. You have to do it when you're sad. You have to do it when you're angry, when you're tired. That's what makes success.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And discipline too is not this like, I mean, every time I think of discipline, I always think of like this like a lonely road of walking down or running down a street, and it's this long desert like path, and I'm running down it or driving down it, and it's just me, no one around me.
Yeah.
And I always feel like the discipline feels very lonely, but also very like warrior like, where you have to brave the desert, you have to brave the cold, you have to brave all these things. And it's all the things that are done in the shadows, or that it's done at night when no one's looking. That to me is like really like the essence of what discipline is, which is when there is no applause, when there's no one watching, when you feel like you're on your own with it. Discipline and that motivation to succeed on your own and for you is really the driving force. That's really like the crux of what discipline is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
See, 100%. It's funny though, because the way I view discipline, I feel like I see like military, I see boot camp, I see structure, I see marching in time together.
Ooh.
I know it's funny how you see it kind of like solo, and I see it like as a team effort. And the thing is, it's both. It's 100% both.
Yeah.
It's the moments that you're doing it by yourself, but also knowing that you have a community to go in line with you, I think is super, super important. Because I think about, and I haven't done anything as, successful or driven like a marathon, but like the little things that I do, like I was very big on doing 75 hard once a year.
That's also exceptionally hard.
Thank you.
I want to be able to do that.
It's rough, but I have always felt my best.
Hold on. We need to listen. We asked that be very known of. If you don't know what 75 hard is out there, I mean, Emilia could do it better than me, but to give credit where credit's due, is this is talking about reading like a chapter in a book every day, or like so many pages in a book a day. There's a diet component to it where it's a very rigid diet, no alcohol, 2 workouts a day. 1 workout has to be outside. There's like a gratefulness element to it. So that is something, and it's rain or shine, you know, snow, fall, whatever. And if you're doing it in the winter months in northern New Jersey, that could be a very tough
walked
time.
in snow. Yep.
Yeah. And, especially during the holiday season where there's birthdays and there's parties and Friendsgivings and so forth, it is not an easy time to do it. So, and you've done it through those things and have been triumphant. So it has to be known that is also hard, to say no to friends, to maybe be the person that's not drinking during times where everyone's really seemingly celebrating and you're seemingly not.
Yep.
And you're focusing on yourself, and the two can coexist
1,000,000%.
But it is very hard to also coexist when you also want to be in a celebratory mood and maybe kind of be a bit more like cheeky and fun and have a glass of champagne with everyone, because then you feel like you're part of it too,
1,000%. I think too, that's like when everyone thinks of 75 hard, they're like, oh, you're just doing a diet plan, but it's not that. It's so much more encompassing, because it really is about building your mental discipline.
Sure.
And I know that's like my biggest fault. It's like for 75 days, I can kill it. I will do it to a T. I feel amazing. I feel so rewarded that I allowed myself this. And then day 76, I'm like, I'll have that glass of wine. Yeah, I'll have that piece of cake. And I know mental discipline is where I lack, especially in the recent years. I keep kind of falling back into my comfort zone. But the reason I really enjoyed this is because you do prove to yourself that you can get out of your mind, and it is possible. And I think that's so important because I'm the type of person where, for example, when we went to Napa, I was supposed to run the half marathon. Yeah. I indeed did not run the half marathon. Not only I have, unfortunately, like PT issues with my feet due to some surgery. So I don't think running is in the cards for me. But if I kind of had that mental discipline still going, I feel like I probably would have pushed through a little bit harder than I did. I felt like I kind of gave up a little bit easy. Yeah. And mind you, there were, like I said, physical challenges that happened where I just don't think I'm meant to be a half marathon or a marathon, maybe like a 5K. I'll maybe even dabble into a 10K. But it's so interesting because when people think about discipline, people think that it's like it bogs you down, right? But for me, when I was doing this 75 hard, it was the easiest thing for me to do because I knew what the structure of the day was. Yeah. I knew that I had to drink a gallon of water a day. Yeah,
which makes sense. Yep. Why you like this regiment. Like that's your vision. Yeah, it's regimented. Everyone's in uniformity. Mm-hmm. Everyone's doing the same thing and you know what's next. You know the sequence of events next.
Like I knew as soon as I woke up in the morning, take my progress picture and drink 8 ounces of water. Like that was like every single morning. That's what I did. And if I didn't have to go into the office, I was going immediately for a walk. So 75 hard, if you guys don't know, you have to choose a nutrition plan. You can't have any cheat meals and you can't have any alcohol for 75 days. Amazing. You have to drink a gallon of water daily.
Yeah, that just seems...
You have to complete 2 workouts a day. Each of them have to be minimum 45 minutes, and one has to be outdoors. You have to read 10 pages of a non-fictional book, so personal development, positive daily habits, things like that, and then a progress picture. So for 75 days, I knew as soon as I woke up in the morning, picture 8 ounces, walk. That means half of my list is already done, right? Then I knew, okay, wait about 2 to 3 hours. Then I do another workout. My meals are already prepped. I'm reading my book before I go to bed. It was structure and it was so freeing because I didn't have to think, do I go to the gym in the morning or do I go after work? Okay, should I make the meal prep that's in my fridge or do I have the luxury of maybe ordering out lunch today? And I think for me, I had to really switch the mindset of discipline. It's like a paradox, right? It's like the more disciplined you are, the freer you become. When people think the more disciplined you are, you're stuck, you're structured, you're in prison. But I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Too, especially for me, I suffer from decision fatigue, like horribly. I don't know what it is. It's just like I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, do I do this? Do I do that? Or do I do that? Or do I do this? But I like this. I want to do that. And then I just don't do anything. Yeah. So having that structure where you're like, you can't mess around. This is what you have to do.
The worst is when someone tells you, if you do struggle with that, the worst is when someone says, just do what you want. And you're like, I mean, come on, bro.
I mean, I'm a Pisces. You have to tell me what I want to do.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know. Yeah. But it is true. I mean, like it is not for the faint of heart for 75
It's not a punishment. Hard. The thing is though too, it's like discipline is not a punishment.
Right. But also too, you would probably see that there is probably a certain archetype of person who does 75
hard. 1,000,000%. And I don't think I fall into it, which is the funniest thing.
And you do see that even in the different types of races. And in half marathons, you see it. You do see it in like the 5K races. Mm-hmm. You see the differences of like racer and stuff. And it's not, there's certainly no level of like elite status that if you ran a half versus a marathon, it's better than the other. There are people that are exceptional 5K racers that are incredible. Like when I did cross country in high school, like there are people that can run, 3.2 miles or 3.3 miles, whatever it is, 3.4 in 15 minutes.
Wow.
And they're insane, like insanely fast. You ask them to run a half marathon, it's just not their thing.
Interesting.
It just they're in like that mid-distance runner. Like that's what they're really good at. Then there's people that are sprinters. They're just really good. Give them 100 yards or give them 100 meters, give them whatever, like the 400 meter on track. They will crush it. tell them to run a mile, and that's they like, not that they can't do it, it's just not their race. They won't be the fastest.
Yeah.
Because maybe they're in all of their body type is trained towards explosive exercises. And that's what they know. So it is really interesting because you just see the different types of archetypes in like the 5Ks of like those that want to be racing and like the mid distance runners. You have people that are starting out in running because the 5K is a really good kind of starting point race, you know, for like kind of like that mid distance.
Yep.
And then you see like more the half marathoners, these people that are trying to push themselves potentially. They've trained for a while. Maybe they're trying to prove something. Maybe they're running with the charity because it's typically larger charity races too.
Yep.
You see that? You know, so it's just really interesting. You see like the different reasons why people run in the different races and you get the different archetypes from it.
It's very true.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about because like for me, if I were to ever sign up for like some sort of fitness competition, it would never be a marathon. It would be more so maybe like a high rocks or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like the idea of running for 13 miles makes me want to just scream. There's nothing that is, what's the word? Appealing to me, but like doing a high rocks and I know I'm doing something like different. I feel like for me, I just can't stand still.
But that's what is like quite literally for those like listening out there. That's like kind of the beauty of like what Emilia and I talk about, which is I hear high rocks and I just think I'm not angry. I'm like, I don't need to do 5,000 burpees.
Yep.
Do the sled, like that just sounds like I don't know why I would do that. Like I don't see a world in which that is
appealing
exciting
to you.
or fun or so. And trust me, I've seen and by the way, this is in no stretch a knock at anyone who does high rocks because I look at it and say they are athletes through and through. Nuts. And they have strength and endurance. And I'm not taking away from any high rocks athlete whatsoever. I'm more saying your motives. I would love to hear what they are and what's the appeal. In my mind, 13 miles, an 18-mile run is like the most mental stimulating. Oh my God. Most like I feel alive. I think I like talk to myself. I get like spiritual kind of, it's like a spiritual retreat every run.
Interesting.
But high rocks to me just sounds like I would have to be listening to heavy metal and like be on something.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like it's not normal.
Oh yeah. No, and it's funny because like if you see me when I go to the gym and like I say I'm in a mood and it's leg day, like I am like Metallica,
Locked
Avenged
in.
Sevenfold,
Yeah.
like I have like angry like music. But like if I'm like sitting on the treadmill, I'm like I can't like
It's not for
I'm
you.
gonna walk into traffic right now.
But that actually is very true. I mean, when I think though too, what we're kind of saying, I mean, is that like there is such a sense of like discipline towards the goal and then the kind of the emotional discipline towards it. Because when you look at everything we're saying is like, yeah, it's great to set a goal and to be disciplined and make your incremental wins towards the bigger goal. And, you know, I will say before I kind of talk about what I was just saying with the emotional discipline, I don't know about anyone else out there too. And you and I talk about this of like my one thing that I used to do a lot, I think up until pretty much last year, and I still probably suffer from remnants of it, but not as bad, is I used to set these goals that were so ridiculously outlandish.
Oh yeah.
Like I could study for the CPA in 2 weeks. All I have to do is study 120 hours. I just don't sleep, right? That's what you do. And these goals were never realistic. They were never going to happen. But I felt like I was disciplined. And I can make it happen. And then I would do it. And I would eventually not perform well. Not because I wasn't disciplined, but I knew that the discipline against the plan was never possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do think for anyone out there that's like maybe looking to start something, you know, you could have, I think, the best discipline, but you also have to have a good plan with it, at least from my experience.
You know what it is too? It's like, I feel like when you don't give yourself space and you don't give yourself kind of like the runway to lean on, it's chaotic, right?
Oh, yeah.
So chaos does not breed success.
No.
And I think when it comes to that, like you also have to have the emotional discipline to understand that like it's okay to be calm. Not everything has to be fight or flight. Not everything has to kind of have this, you know, toxicity around it. Like having a calm approach to things.
Yeah.
You will succeed in anything that you put your mind to.
Yeah.
for myself, like I'm very, one of the times that I was unemployed, I'm like, I'm going to do everything. I wanted to learn calligraphy. I wanted to cook. I wanted to, get a job. I wanted to go to the gym every day. I put way too much on me. It was too chaotic in my brain that nothing got accomplished. I didn't finish one of the goals that I set for myself because I threw it all on there.
Yeah.
And,
well, because the thing is, it's a kind of like what I was saying, which is maybe at that point in time, you saw every road that can lead you from point A to B. Mm-hmm. And so you just say to yourself, like, oh, well, if I take this one road, I can then go here, here, and here. If I take this other road, then I can do my calligraphy. Then if I take this road, I can, and you realize like all those roads ultimately lead to failure because they're not baked plans.
Exactly.
They're just like ideas of plans. And you like, I don't know about you, but like I had a problem with like romanticizing the goal.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and you almost fall in love with like what the goal would be and what does it mean? And then how do you explain the goal to people and like the glamour behind the goal? And then like you realize like, all right, like now I got to get to work. It's no different than me being like, I want to run a marathon and like telling everything I'm going to be running a marathon and you got the shoes and you got everything and you're all like happy and you're like, yeah, I signed up for my race. And then it's like, all right, now like you got to run the mile, like you gotta run your 3 miles, your 5 miles, and so on, and work your way up. And it never felt like if you didn't fall in love with that plan, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
and that's like a really hard thing.
And I think along with that, discipline to begin with has to be very neutral, right?
Yeah,
because you have to have that emotional neutrality, which then leads to a purpose. And I think that was for me that's what I didn't have. I never had a neutral approach to it. I was just so high on getting things done or wanting to do everything that like I didn't give myself a moment to like repress those emotions and just like look at it through a calm lens, which is why nothing happened. Yeah. So, having that emotional discipline, you really have to connect your self-concept to emotional regulation. And like you said, like what is the goal? Like if my goal is a marathon runner, like what does a marathon runner do? Like that's what they get it done. They pound the pavement. They do what they have to do to succeed to become that marathon runner. And that's what I missed so much because I just thought, okay, I have all this free time. I'm doing it all.
Yeah.
And in my brain, nothing happens.
And that's the thing though too is like, and I know today too, like, and Emilia and I always talk about this, and I think we see the world. I'm not, and I'm bought in, but I'm not overly bought in of like, I love the idea of manifesting and like, and wishing things and, believing you can change or do things and stuff too. I feel like the harder part is like that. I feel like is the for me, that's like the glamorous part of it.
Oh,
like I feel like that's the fun part of the dream or the fun part of the goal of like visualizing the podium, visualizing the run. But I feel like, and maybe this is where I need to be educated on like manifestation, which is like on that side of it where like, do you also manifest getting up every day to run in the cold weather and being happy about it and putting on your jacket and going outside and being like, it's 20 degrees outside, but I got to go for a run.
Yeah.
Like, do you visualize that and like glamorizing that and like seeing that, or is that not part of it?
It's not part of it because...
Or is it just the goal? It's like the end goal of saying you did that, like the end goal.
So... It's actually really interesting that you're bringing this up because I've been researching a lot about the neuro portion of manifestation. So learning about the brain, kind of learning about like the way you speak to your brain. Like the biggest thing that I've come is like the brain doesn't know what's true and what's false, right? The brain just wants to keep itself comfortable, which is when they say like, when you step outside of your comfort zone, that's where your life begins because the brain just wants to keep you safe.
Yeah.
When you start doing something uncomfortable, your brain thinks that you're in danger because you're stepping outside that. And it's like, no, I don't like this. Don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So for me, what I learned is a lot of the self-talk is very, very important.
Interesting.
So for example, like if you're saying, okay, it's 20 degrees outside, like I have to go for a walk. You get to say it's 20 degrees outside. I got a coat. I get to go for a walk. I have my legs can allow me to walk in this weather, or, I have the funds to buy me this coat and to buy me these like hand warmers and I can do this. And it's like, you're you're switching like the neural pathways in your brain to make it seem like, oh, this is what I get to do. Like, I'm blessed enough to be able to do this and achieve this. And for me, that's really huge because I have very negative self-talk sometimes. And in the mornings, like if there's like a morning I don't want to go to the gym and I'm just like, oh God, I have to go to the gym. I'm like, I have the funds that I get to go to a gym. I have the means of transportation that I can drive to a gym of my choice at the time that I want to because I get to work from home today. Like, you kind of have to switch that. But manifestation is pretty much like saying it's here, right? So for example, like you would say, I am a Berlin 2026 marathon runner and with a time of
3 hours.
3 hours, right? And then because you're telling your brain that, your brain's going to start rewiring for you to just start doing the things that will help you accomplish. I mean, there's a whole nother thing where it's like manifestation, like if it's meant for you, it's just going to happen how it happens. And that's like, the things I'm learning, like people are just saying like, you manifest and you visualize and it just comes to you. But the way I look at it is like, well, how do you not do the work to get there?
Right.
So,
exactly.
there's so much I still don't know that I'm just very interested in learning because I think it's fascinating. But
yeah, I do believe there is a sense of magnetism to the goal.
Like law of attraction, positive mindset,
like
what you get. Yeah.
But then there is the part of like you do it, and again, like for instance, I think you can go out and run a marathon. I don't think, yes, if you want to maybe get a good time, it's probably in your best interest to train.
And have like some framework.
Right. Yeah. And maybe learn how to breathe, maybe learn how to pace yourself. Like that, like certain tools will just be helpful for you 100%. To have as you're doing it. However, yes, like in theory, if you wanted to go out and run a marathon, you could. If you wanted to go out and run a 5K, like you could. Like, I don't think people can't do things, but I think it's more or less the fact of like, how much time are you willing to get a time that you're like proud of? Is it a check the case in point? Is it a check the box situation? Say, yeah, one day I woke up, ran a marathon. I didn't really care what I got. I just wanted to check the box and do it.
Yep.
Or is it say, I really want to train and learn the art of running it? And if it's just like to your point of calligraphy, you could simply just buy a kit, do a couple of things and just start writing and say, I learned it.
True.
Or is your point of I really want to learn every letter and I want to become a pro or an expert at it and then be able to write it and film it and take content and photos of that. Like if it's that, then you got to sit with it.
100%.
If it's just do a couple of letters and learn how to write your name, then do it in a day. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So it feels like it's like whatever the goal is,
Yeah. And I think, so we're still using the marathon as an example for this podcast, but tell me about like, what was your framework getting ready for like the marathon? Like what were like those little macro wins that you achieved along the way to get you to where you wanted to get to?
It's funny because it's ironic. The part of the manifestation that I used a lot was before a lot of my runs. It sounds ridiculous, but if you're a runner, it's like, if you know, you know, of like, you would thank your legs.
Oh, I love that so much.
Like, and because you just got like right now, it's like, not that like I'm making money doing this because I'm not making any money at all. But in fact, I'm more like in the deficit of it for the amount of travel and money you spend on shoes and stuff. But it's more the part of like, you thank your legs that you're like, they're going to push me through this. And then the fact that you do like a speed workout or you do a hill workout, a long run, whatever it is, or an interval, and you're like, get done and you're like, I can't believe that like I hit those paces or I did whatever I was supposed to do.
Yep.
So that's part of the manifestation. So the framework is like at least doing enough mentally to prepare yourself for the run, like and things like that. Second framework was mainly just, I realized is like, you have to have your team.
Yeah.
And I learned that earlier on after I did my first half, which was that doing the marathons, you have to realize like, if you wear a Garmin watch, someone that's going to train you and coach you as you're running to let you know what your pace is. You have to have shoes that are compatible with your feet, the distance that you're running, and the type of runner that you are. Are you a heel striker, a midsole striker, a toe striker? All of that's important. If you need a lower drop to protect yourself, or like on your called a heel drop.
Yeah.
If you need that to protect your Achilles and your heel, things like that. Having like the running shoe tech, if you will, having shorts and the tee that's all like custom for you, if you will. And like, so the framework that I did was like, you have to learn who's your team. Like, you know what I mean? Like what brands work with you, what shoes work with you, what watch works with you and stuff. And then finally the biggest thing was like, I felt I wanted to make sure I did something that I fell in love with the process.
Oh.
Like I fell in love with every workout. And because I looked at every workout, it's just like a new opportunity. So the framework was like, I fell in love with Tuesdays were a speed workout. Thursdays was a tempo or an easy run. And then Saturday was my long run. But I fell in love with the romanticized of I don't drink all week.
Yep.
Saturday was my reward and a date night.
Yep.
Tuesday was my speed workout, and that was the day I saw like I put everything to the test.
Yes.
Thursday was like my recovery day, but it was like my mental prep day for Saturday. Friday night work was over. It was my night to relax. Saturday morning was like my night to like be the warrior, be the lion inside. So very long story short, like the framework was a lot about recognizing there's elements that I can control and elements I can not necessarily control, but influence. And then there's elements just out of my control.
Yeah. And I think too, a great question people should ask themselves is, for example, I want to be a marathon runner. Now you have to ask the question, what does a marathon runner do?
Yeah, why would you want to run it?
Exactly. Why do you want to run it? Okay, I want to run it to prove myself wrong. I want to say I did it, whatever it is. And then you say, okay, what would a marathon runner do? They get the proper shoes. They get the proper apparel. They get, if they need guidance, they get the proper coach. They find the right path for them, or they find maybe a gym that has a skill mill versus a treadmill. And you have to start asking yourself that question of, who do I want to become? What steps do I have to take to become that? Yeah. And like, even just like the framework that you were listing out, like thanking your body and thanking your legs for doing what it's doing, like finding like your community of brands, like that's so important because I that was a step I missed so many times. And that's why things kept failing, because I wasn't doing it.
You realize early on, like you can't do, like you can do it on your own. Absolutely. But you will be that much more accelerated into the progress of like realizing, because like it sounds ridiculous now, like I do enough miles where despite now being in between marathons, I do enough miles that like honestly that like I need to get different shoes for different runs. Yeah. I initially just wanted an all around shoe because it made sense for me. It was easier for me to keep track of it. Now I'm like, I run enough that I'm starting to develop small injuries here and there. Yeah. Now the advice I'm getting from PT and from a running coach is you need to switch up your shoes. So I have tempo run shoes. I have 10K to half marathon shoes. I have long run shoes that are over 20 miles shoes.
So nuts, yeah.
I have like, and all these different shoes in different stretches per shoe and how to warm up for each. Like I'm realizing like, just when you think you kind of understand something, you realize you've just scratched the surface and there's a whole new kingdom that gets unlocked.
Oh, yeah. It's like everything that you could ever imagine has a rabbit hole. And if you want to exceed, you have to go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, my God. Absolutely. Yeah. Like 1,000%.
So, Chris, I have a question for you.
Tell me.
Minus being a marathon runner, what do you want to be and how are you going to, what kind of framework are you going to implement?
Oh, my gosh.
Would you like me to start?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, I want to be... Let's see. I want to be a healthy, strong woman.
Love. Yeah.
So, and why do I want to be that? I want to be that for myself because I have one body in this life and I deserve to treat her right. I want to be it for my family. I want to be it with my husband so that we can both have a long, vital life together. Love that. And I deserve it. I deserve to live in a healthy, strong, willing, and abled body. So what type of questions would a fitness person ask themselves? Schedule your gym time. Are you going to be a morning gym time, a during lunchtime, or are you going to be an after work person? What kind of structure do you want your workouts to be? Do you want to do, maybe 2 days or 3 days in a regular gym and then sign up for a gym that maybe is like a HIIT gym or like an Orange Theory or something like that? Sure. What does a healthy, strong, fit person eat? Maybe look into meal preps. Yeah. For myself, like I have horrible feet. So it's like find myself the sneakers that are going to allow me to squat strong and, be able to maybe run or do the Stairmaster for a long time. Yeah, I mean, I could go on forever, but I think like that right there, like these are the questions. I'm just giving an example. These are the questions of things that you need to be asking yourself to see if you really want to do it. Yeah. And for me, like I do. So,
That's
tomorrow.
Huge.
Tomorrow I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something that a healthy, strong, able-bodied person will do. Don't know what it is yet, but I'm doing it.
I think that's great. I actually love that, and I think it's a it's an ambiguous enough sentiment where you're not trying to say, I want to be a globally known,
oh Lord, no.
like, right, like
fitness influencer.
Yeah, exactly. Like where you're like, yeah, like, I mean, and it's not that it's a bad goal,
no,
but you're like, wow. So, and that is a think about it, you're like, well, that's a health goal plus a social goal.
Yep.
You know, there's a monetary goal potentially in it too. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and you're like, yeah, like there's nothing wrong with a complicated goal, but you're like, but if you hone it into the single goal first,
yes,
that'll be easier for you to potentially achieve the goal, you know? But so I love that. I think it's a super achievable goal. And yeah, I mean, whatever we need to do to support you to get there, I think that's what we should do.
Thank you. We'll discuss more. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow.
My God.
Even if I just get out for a walk during my lunch break for 30 minutes, it's something.
I remember I remember going to Soul Cycle, and one of the instructors that I used to take pretty frequently would say that you're lapping the person that's sitting on the couch right now. Just by you, showing up.
100%.
And it would always like get me that like, yeah, I might have had a bad like spin class, but you know what though, like I am lapping the person who didn't
not
want
doing
to show
anything.
up, didn't want to do anything. It was lazy. It's cold.
That paid that cancellation fee.
Oh, exactly. or didn't want to go. They got tired. They didn't show up. So totally. But no, to answer your question about like what I want to be, it's like, I think if I had to like really package up, it's someone who's authentically myself and proud of what I'm doing and how I'm contributing to the world.
I love that.
And so like, I think being authentically myself is working or constantly working in an environment where I'm always tested, where my ideas are respected and I can put them into good use.
Yep.
I want to be able to like constantly build things that are new and different.
Love that.
I do think that I do really want to link up more with charities, and I started doing that this year. And
I love
get
that.
back to multiple communities. Yeah,
I would love to be a part of that too.
Yeah, I that's like something that's like really like near and dear to something I want to change about my life. Is that I do a lot, but I don't think I do a lot for others that have a bigger impact, and I do want to change that about myself.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and then I think the last thing is like I want to have a level of independence that I feel like is like my own.
100%.
So like, and I don't know if that's like identity or independence. I don't know if like what really the difference is in that sense.
Like financial independence, like work independence, like it could be so many things.
Yeah, I don't know, but like it's something with identity and independence that I'm like obsessed with the words in my mind, but I'm not sure how they interplay with each other. Or
we'll
if they
uncover
don't
it. That's okay.
So yeah,
that's what this is for. I love this.
I just think we're gonna shake and bake, razzle dazzle.
Listen, we're gonna circle back end of year.
It's EOI.
EOI. We are officially. We have to say
officially EOI in Q4.
We are officially in circle back season. Like, let's just circle back after the holidays.
Well, right. Well, here's the thing. At this point, I think what we just hone in on what we know until end of year.
Yes.
We don't want to reinvent the wheel at this point.
No. Why should we? I mean, like we can't keep hitting that powder. You know what I mean?
No. And especially now you have holiday season coming up.
Thank God.
So many people are going to be on PTO.
Oh, I'm already planning
PTO.
The rest of my PTO to use the next 2 months.
And also too, because as a result of that, I mean, everyone knows this. Once Thanksgiving's here, it's a couple of weeks till to the holidays in December.
Thanksgiving is the holidays.
Yeah, but
it's holiday season from Thanksgiving to New Year's Day.
Right, and are you going to be? And the main question that we're asking ourselves now is, are you going to be in the week of Thanksgiving? See,
I'm going to have to touch base with you tomorrow on that. I don't know.
You want to put a pin in it?
Put a pin.
Let's put a pin in it.
Put a pin. I'll ping you in the morning.
Ping in the morning.
Yep.
You know what we'll do? I'll see you on Teams.
Do.
Oh my God.
Episode 7.
In the bag.
We have one more episode next week to complete the season. Season 1 of External Validation.
S1 EV Pod.
Whoop, whoop,
I have to say,
whoop.
this has been like super fun. We never thought, looking back, that we would want to grab a mic and ever tape record a conversation.
Tape record? You're showing your age.
Yeah. But the truth is that it's like, what's kind of funny though with this is that like looking back and how hard it felt like to come up with these like, with this, looking back, you're like, it goes into this whole discipline thing.
Oh my gosh, it does.
Of like, right? Of like starting the podcast seemed like monumental of like, what do we need? We need to go on TikTok. We need to be on YouTube. We need to be, how do we get the podcast? And then we have to find a hosting site. And now here we are weeks into it. And it's just like, yeah, we post on TikTok and you just post on Podbeam and we do, or Podbean, and then you focus on here, and then it just translates that. Like, it falls into place. And so what this means is that, like, yeah, like every day, just focus a little bit on something, and every day it gets a little bit better and more enjoyable.
And a lot easier. We're still learning. We're still making mistakes.
Listen, is our editing skills 5-star? No. Are the microphones great?
Yeah.
No.
I was going to say yes.
Well, they're $44.
They're not bad.
They're about $44 or $34 on Amazon.
It's not bad.
That's not that bad. However, do we have a podcast studio?
No.
Where are we sitting right now? My living room.
On the couch.
With a dog on me.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? We're having fun.
Hey, you know, it's growth.
It's personal growth. It is PG, as we call it.
PG, personal growth. It's going to be corporate growth eventually when we become this huge conglomerate.
Yeah, HQ.
HQ.
We're in growth HQ at the moment. PG HQ. Oh
guys,
amazing.
This is legitimate. Well, we'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining us as always, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And we hope you enjoyed
this episode.
Yep.
You guys are the best. Take
we
it
love
easy.
you. Bye.